In this episode, we have strong winds in the lagoon, so we move within the atoll. But first, this is me, Kim. There is Bart, and here is Liz, our little explorer. We sold everything to explore these beautiful places with our tiny 33-foot sailboat, Tranquillity. In the last episode, we set sail to our first atoll in the Tuamotus, where the timing of the entrance is crucial. A big squall is approaching us in Raroia, and really the wave, it's like being on the ocean.
Yeah, welcome in paradise. The atolls. It's like a calm inside a ring of coral. No waves. Nice swimming, nice visibility in the water. Well, since we've been here we only have like lots of wind.
And rain!
And rain, Liz, and rain. Well, no, we didn't have much rain, but this is the first squall with some rain. It's not much. Well, and entertaining Liz still continues, of course. And we are now in the worst position ever. Like on the...
Not ever. Curacao, we had a rock behind us as well.
Yeah, we had a rock behind it. In Curacao we lay there for a month, so that's fine. So we are used to be with the back of the boat very close to shore or reef. I mean, we are in 10 meters of water, but behind me is a big bommy, and of course the land is very close. But it's just, we just had 27 knots of wind, gusts, waves are building up, so we never had this, because on Spanish waters the waves didn't build up that much, and here we've got like very big waves. I started the engine just in case, so I can use the throttle to take off some tension of the anchor chain if I see that it's necessary. And I just started it because, well, Murphy's Law is if anything goes bad then you probably won't start your engine as well. So now it is running, at least it's running.
After a rainy and squall morning, we had sunshine and time to have some fun in the wind and waves before we get back to business.
So, sailing around the world is doing boat jobs in exotic places. It's one of the phrases you might have heard before, and it's true. I mean, we are here on Raroia, a nice atoll, and boat jobs. We noticed that our autopilot got stuck. Sometimes it's not a big problem. We have the wheel pilot and it needs servicing every now and then. Normally you just wash it out with fresh water after sail trips, and I think we did that, but I think our mileage are too much, so there's still some salt buildup and dirt. So time to open it up and clean it. That's what I did this morning. And then when I put it back together, disaster struck. A little component where I put in a screw, which is fixed with a copper plug that's in a plastic housing. The plastic housing broke down, so it was impossible to screw it down. Epoxy came to rescue. So I epoxied it all together, and it's dry now. It's a couple of hours later. It should dry out more than 8 hours at least. That's not it, but I wanted to put in the screw just before it hardens out completely, because then if it's if the epoxy got into the thread, it's impossible to get the screw in. So yeah, putting it all back together now.
Maneuvering the wheel in the back of the cockpit. It is a tiny space, but in a full cockpit even more. As you can see, behind anchor we soon have a messy cockpit. Snorkel gear is out, toys for Liz, etc. All the stuff we use daily. And because we use it so often, we do not stow it away. But it becomes an even bigger mess when boat jobs need to be done.
Difficult morning. We hoisted anchor just to go a couple of miles in the north direction of the Raroia Atoll. Problem in the atolls is there's coral bommies anywhere. So if you anchor, they say you can float your anchor chain with some buoys. We didn't do that because we thought there was no bommy in the surrounding. But we did see one rock. But that's it, and in the end it turns out that our anchor chain got wrapped around the rock. We thought we might be able to sail around the rock to get the chain loose and get it up. It wasn't working, so we decided to go into the water. It was at 13 meters deep, so that's deep, and found out that the anchor chain was wrapped like 3 times around the rock. My hopes got a little bit down, but well, thank God we did the freedive courses on Curacao because you know what to do. You are able to go deep. I mean, record is 25 meters for me and for Kim 20 meters almost. But that's going down and up, and now we needed to do some work, so 30 meter is a bit the limit. But I was able to do 3 dives down and get the chain 1 loop at a time around the rock. And the final loop wasn't possible, but that we could manage with the boat, go around. And then our friends Amai also had a problem. They floated their line, and one of the floaty buoys got stuck around a coral head, and the chain also got stuck around the coral head. So floating your line is not a guarantee of success. But I could help them out. Luckily their anchor wasn't that deep as ours, it was at 10 meters. And there was only 1 loop around the rock, but it was snug underneath it. So that was an easy fix. And now we're both on the move. I think when we anchor now, we try to anchor in a little bit less deep water and dive directly to it to see if there's any trouble with coral bommies in the neighborhood.
Try a new technique, and that's floating the anchor chain. So we drop the anchor at 13 meters, and then the first buoy or fender goes on, and then every 10 meters we attach another one. We are anchored in the area where Kon-Tiki smashed the reefs back in the days. There is a book about this expedition if you want to know more about Kon-Tiki. Well, it's time for us to check out the reef and her aquarium blue water. After all the swimming, it's time for a bonfire with our friends, and we found an amazing spot. These nights are the best. We really enjoy these get-togethers with friends in amazing places. Hard to describe how that feels. But there is also the normal life part of living on the boat, and these are family occasions, cause they take a little more time and effort than when we lived in our house.
Kijk, pak maar aan. Ik ga ze allemaal
His
uit.
way of hanging laundry.
Yeah, well, it's perfect, right?
Ik heb alles gevonden.
Only
Allemaal
needs to hang.
Yeah.
That's good.
Ik heb
Can you explain a bit why this life is not all about fishing, snorkeling, kiting, going to a beach?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, you also have laundry. It's like a normal life, except on the ocean.
Is it a normal life?
Yeah.
I mean, how much time does normal people spend in a house on doing the laundry?
Yeah, probably not as much, but we don't have a washing machine on board, so we have to do it by hand.
Yeah, so we're going back in time actually. So it's a simpler life, but a daily job takes way more time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we also bake bread. I mean, you can buy it in the supermarket, but we don't have, so we bake it ourselves, but we don't have a bread machine.
Yeah.
So we have to do everything ourselves.
Mag ik deze ook?
Ja.
Dit is ook-
So if you see us spearfishing, snorkeling, doing cool stuff, sailing, that's just like a quarter of our life.
Yeah.
The rest is doing regular jobs, which take a way more time than when you have a house.
Bart is pulling up the snubber so we can hoist in our anchor because we are leaving this anchor spot for now in Raroia, and we head to the small village across the atoll, and we will wait there until the end of the day, just when we have enough light to leave the atoll, and then we head to Makemo, and that's an overnight passage because we want to arrive with the right tide, and that's tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's our plan. So for now we stay a few more hours in Raroia, but on another on a different anchorage, and then we head to our second atoll. Time to pull the throttle. Getting in the floated anchor chain is completely different, and it takes a bit more time because we have to de-attach the fenders. This also means that we can drift a bit if the anchor is not yet in but off the ground. Not really a problem, but just something to be aware of.
Maneuvering in the atoll is best to be done by daylight, preferable with the sun behind you or above you, because there's these all these bommies, little patches of shallows spread it out in the entire atoll. So you have to navigate through them. We have a atoll which is very good on avionics. Because there's also a satellite image and you can see them, and they correspond really well with the bommies. So you might be able to do it by night because you have this map, but then you're blind. And now by eyesight it's very good to see. So this is why we try to maneuver by daylight with the sun behind us or above us. This is also why Kim told you that we want to go to the village first, so we can cross the entire atoll with the sun behind us, and then at the end of the day, when the sun is from that side, we only have to maneuver out of the bay, and we have our own track from when we came in, so that should be an easy way out. But if you want to move by the end of the day, we had to cross the entire atoll with the sun in front of us, and then it's very hard to spot the bommies. So we anchored right in front of the village, and yeah, we still have some time before we leave, so yeah, let's go and head into town. It's very small, but it looks really nice. We're at the airport. They have this parking spots for like almost everyone in the village has their own parking spots.
Almost 4 o'clock, and
yes,
we leave Raroia.
Yeah, to go to Makemo. And yeah, it's again of course exciting because now we leave in the afternoon, so the sun doesn't show the reefs very good. Well, on that side it does, but not on that side, and we have to go out on that side, but we have a track. So our former track is on our avionics, so we can just follow that line, and then we are good to go.
One not against.
Heel lang gouden haar. Elke dag liep de heks naar Rapunzel. Rapunzel, Rapunzel.
And the moon is rising now. It's only 6 o'clock. Or 6:15.
Blind en ellendig door het
So
bos.
really early.
Tot hij op een dag een vertrouwde meisjesstem hoorde.
So Liz is still here.
Rapunzel.
And we are reading
erbij.
stories
En
and
al snel
stretching it
he
until
lay in her
bedtime.
arms. Rapunzel cried.
6:45 and we have arrived at the entrance of Makemo. Our friends are yet inside, so we think the passage is good to go. And yeah. And now we have the current against us. It's a calm ocean, no waves, but all this swirling water from the current. Four knots.
Well, this was it. If you have any questions, please let us know. And for now, goodbye and thank you very much for watching. Fair winds to you all.